Hey everybody, welcome back to another Judgment commentary of Kaguya-sama Love is War, Ultra Romantic. But today, we're going to be checking out episode 8. And last time, on episode 7, it was a really good episode, lots of fun for sure, but there wasn't much important stuff in it that I would need to discuss here. So instead, I'll just go over some of the highlights. First of which is that Maki is apparently quite fond of bonfires. It looks like at some point in the past, she was able to witness a bonfire while holding hands with a bunch of people. We didn't get too much context on that just yet, but we did see that she vouched for there to be a bonfire at the upcoming festival, and at first, people were kind of against the idea. They didn't know how well that would go over, but she decided to put in all the work to make it happen, all by her lonesome, and it looks like she's gonna get to enjoy that bonfire. Then we saw a bit more of Kaguya's fangirls. They decided to just go around the school and interview everybody about their thoughts on the festival and things like that. Not much to report on there. And then we got one more thing to add to Miyuki's list of things that he's not very good at, which this time was blowing up balloons and using them to make balloon animals. Or balloon swords and stuff. At the very least, that segment did provide a nice wholesome moment between him and Kaguya, where she acknowledged something that she appreciated about him, the fact that even though he's not always good at things at first, as long as he really tries at it, he'll eventually become good at it. And up until now, he's never quit at it. He's tried his hand at a lot of different things, he's sucked at all of them, but he never relents until he's got it fully mastered. And she's right, that's something you gotta respect about him. But out of all the moments in that episode, one of my personal favorites was when Ishigami was just totally owning those dudes who were trying to flex to Tsubame with their useless knowledge. Just him completely circumventing everything that they were saying and showing them up. Yeah, sorry guys, your spectacles are cool and all, but Ishigami needs a win here. And I'm glad he got one. In any case, like I said before, last episode was still a really good time, but for now, let's just head into episode 8 and see what it has in store, as the clocks start ticking. Well, you heard the lady folks. Kaguya wants to confess. A very nice spin on the series name with that last segment there, for sure. Instead of her wanting to be confessed to, she wants to get the gumption to confess herself. She's got it all set up, ready to swallow her pride and finally confess to Miyuki because, yeah, she's finally realizing all of that. The person who falls in love first loses nonsense is in fact nonsense. And you know what? They hadn't talked about that ideal in a very long time. Like, I think the last time they brought it up was at the beginning of season 1, near the start. That, whoever falls in love first, they lose. They lose all the power. All of it goes to the other person. That was always a very flawed mentality that the two of them ended up having, but it would seem as though they've both started to realize that it's just been holding them back. While at the same time, stoking the flames of their passion, making them grow ever fonder for each other. I guess a bit of a blessing in disguise. In some ways. Anyway, this episode was mostly focused on Kaguya and her desire to confess to Miyuki and her just fully realizing that she is just madly in love with him at this point. But the first segment was pretty much entirely separate from that, and was just a more light-hearted affair, focusing on Kei wanting to show off her brother. She wanted him to go to the festival so she could hear everybody say how cool he is, and then immediately try to talk a bit of trash about him. Nothing too severe, you know? Simple brother stuff. I mean, really, it wasn't even trash talk. It was mostly, again, lighthearted. Just, he doesn't put his clothes in the hamper, and he constantly is telling me that I should dress more modestly. But it was a good time. Just Miyuki apparently maintaining a middle school level of fashion sense with his hot topic style of clothing. Which, man, I know that style very well. It's not the kind of thing that I would wear, but I was around a lot of people who did. In frickin' like 8th grade through junior year, that kind of style was everywhere, man. Minus the weird Google translated text, which is, it's just a product of it trying to look cool by having English written on it. But we did have the opposite of that, where there was probably very poorly translated Japanese text on it. But what it says here is, you aren't supposed to give up the... something that I can't read, dang it. Who is in your soul. You're not supposed to give up the hep who is in your soul. I have no idea what else that says. The person who thinks with an opinion is blindfolding by himself and is plugging the ear himself. I have no idea what that one is even supposed to be trying to say. What's that say? Oblivion something. I can't see, the words are over it. Dang, I still can't read it. I don't know the depths of the darkness at night and light at noon. Now, but all the heartwarming stuff with Kei and hot topic stuff aside, the next segment focusing on Kaguya was interesting because it did give us what may be one final plan of hers, where she was trying to think through how to give him something with a heart on it so that she could get that eternal bond without him realizing it, and thus recognizing it as a confession. The handkerchief was the best idea to me, you know? I mean, what are the odds that he would notice one specific heart on that thing? Relatively low, as long as he doesn't, look at that side immediately. And I mean, eventually, as long as he's looking at it, he might catch it, but all it would do is fluster him. But I already said it during the reaction. However, her just outright saying to Hayasaka that she loves Miyuki bombshelled the series right there. She had never even come close to saying anything like that. And it's just, means that things are really looking like they're gonna heat up in these next few episodes. At the very least, one of them will confess. Perhaps it would be thematically fitting if it were Kaguya who would do it. Just a full flipperoo of the show's title, but I'm still holding out hope that both of them confess simultaneously, just saying. And lastly, in the next segment, we learn that Osurage is in a little bit of a last-second relationship here with the squad leader, which, yeah, that's surprising. Not for any reason, then it just seemed to have come out of nowhere. But hey, for Ishigami, that's really big news, because obviously it was going to be on his mind that maybe Tsubame was seeing the squad leader, because, he's one of the only other people that we've seen her just kind of, get up and just wrap her arms around him and stuff. The tracks from the point I tried to make a few episodes ago where I said that might mean that she likes him. But with this, it confirms that the two of them aren't seeing each other, meaning Ishigami's chances with Tsubame are a lot higher. Still not guaranteed, but hey, just him confessing his feelings to her will still be a good thing in the long run, even if she turns him down. Really holding out hope for you, Ishigami. I mean, let's just have everybody get into a happy relationship here in these next few episodes. That would be nice. Oh, by the way, earlier I just referred to the arc as the Cultural Festival and 2 arc, completely negating the fact that it says 2 confessions, which, yeah, that pretty much cements a couple options there. One, that the 2 confessions are either Kaguya and Miyuki confessing to one another, and then the other confession is Ishigami to Tsubame. Or perhaps the 2 confessions are Miyuki and Kaguya confessing simultaneously, or both of those are going to count as one confession, and Ishigami will still confess to Tsubame. Ah well. Anyway, this episode is really good. I liked the first segment. It was a lot of fun, mostly lighthearted and jokes and stuff, but there was still a cool moment where Miyuki's dad gave him that really expensive watch that's the same model as the one that they used on the Apollo program. It went to the freaking moon. I know Kei just tried to downplay that as being boomer garbage, but I guess I can respect boomer garbage because I thought that was actually genuinely awesome. And then the next 2 segments just setting everything up for this 2 confessions arc here. Let the hype become real. I mean, there's a lot happening right now, relationship-wise, for most of the characters. This Devoted Hearts Festival is a big friggin' deal. But there are still 4 episodes left. It's not like the next episode is gearing up as a finale. There's still a lot of time for stuff to happen. But anyway, for now, I think that's going to be it, guys. But thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed. Subscribe to be updated on more. That'd be great. Next time, I'm going to check out episode 9, which, as I've said the past 2 or 3 episodes now, we're going to have to switch the subs. I know many people have supported these subs from GJM, and others have had their problems with them because, well, that's justified. There have been a number of weird translation choices with them, but because GJM has not translated past episode 8, I'm gonna be switching over to the other ones for the remainder. Which I think one of the only things we're gonna really lose with that is that sometimes the text on the screen doesn't get translated. I think that's what people have said about the official subs, is that they don't translate the stuff on the screen, which is a bit of a loss for me. I like reading the stuff on the screen. But who knows, maybe I'm wrong about that. Like I said, that's it. I'm super hyped for these next few episodes, and I hope you guys are hyped as well. But till we meet again, I will see you guys later!